Let's say you like baking, well, become the best, because guess what? You will always have business. Or, you are particularly good at a certain thing, that opportunity is there. So retail is going to be a huge opportunity within this. It's just different retail. Don't sell stuff that everybody else sells. Sell unique stuff.
Across the globe, younger people are making their presence known in businesses, governance, policymaking, and several sectors of the world's largest economies. Unlike what was available some 20, 30 years ago when the older generation basically ruled everything, the younger generation seems to have better opportunities now. Though most of these opportunities they created for themselves. You only need to look at the number of young global leaders, CEOs, multimillionaires, developers, inventors, and investors to realize there are many more opportunities for the younger generation than we had some decades back. In a recent interview, Real Vision CEO and macro guru Raoul Pal talks extensively about these opportunities and how young people can make use of them to get richer. The former Goldman Sachs executive explains that young people have the tools to do better for themselves now without even leaving the comfort of their homes. He also talks about how young people can use their passions to generate a lot of money for themselves. We will now take you to Raoul Pal's interview. But before we do, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. We appreciate all our viewers and subscribers for their continued support. Thanks and enjoy the video.
I think if you're 30 years old, this is the biggest opportunity of your lifetime. Out of crisis comes opportunity. So what you've done is you've cleared out a load of old businesses and the world is changing. I noticed this when I went to Japan a few years ago, is it bifurcates between the big brands and the big businesses and then artisanal stuff. And we've seen that movement already across the US, across Europe, where people are opening, young people are opening like a cool bakers or a, cool clothing place where they make cool clothing themselves and stuff like that. So there is a bifurcation that's going on. And what you've just done is cleared out the high street of all of the old shit that needed to go. Now, that's painful and horrible because it's people's life savings and their businesses. But thinking like you should is, okay, all of that old stuff is gone. Rents are collapsing. I could start a business. Mm-hmm. Your probability of success of starting a business in a down cycle is so much higher than starting it when rents are high. You're competing for everything. And it is about doing unique stuff. Find your niche. The world used to be like Amazon, broad. But we're all finding that deep is the other strategy. Let's say you like baking, well, become the best. Because guess what? You will always have business. Or, you are particularly good at a certain thing, that opportunity is there. So retail is going to be a huge opportunity within this. It's just different retail. Don't sell stuff that everybody else sells. Sell unique stuff. We've seen it with the rise of, farm-to-table eating and food and all of this stuff. We've seen it with clothing, we've seen it with jewelry, we've seen it with all sorts of things. So there's opportunities for creative outlets, which you couldn't do in cities because it was too expensive. I mean, to have a creative idea for a business in New York City or Hong Kong or London, yeah, you get marginalized to the kind of other neighborhoods. Well, guess what? That's going to change. So yes, it's terrible. And yes, it's going to be lingering. And yes, it's miserable for many. But change is always opportunity. When we started Real Vision, there was a friend of mine who was running the largest television company in the UK, private, non-BBC. And YouTube had just launched. And I said, how's business, blah, blah, blah. I said, great, blah, 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 but I'm worried about YouTube. I said, why the hell do you care? It's cat videos. This is like 2006, 7. It's like, it's cat videos. He's like, no. He goes, we pay £100 million for a broadcasting license. And now anybody can become a TV company. So fast forward, and COVID's just been the accelerant. It's like YouTube has just turned up. Anybody can become a university.
Right.
You don't even need premises. It's so disruptive, you can't get your head around it yet. Yes, of course, excellent centers of learning, top universities, Harvard, Oxford, whatever, they will always persist. But their offering will change. But there is no reason to have, particularly in the US, hundreds of universities spread around places. It's not going to happen, because I know at Real Vision we could create an applied finance course that's better than 90% of what's out there, and for a fraction of the cost, because we'd start from scratch. No buildings, not millions of lecturers, all of the stuff that goes with it, all gone. So the cost of education is about to collapse, and we want to be at the forefront of that. So you think of yourself, okay, 5 years time, what do I want to be doing? How do I get there? Because then you open your brain synapses to opportunity.
Pal also talks about his time at Goldman Sachs, an American multinational investment, bank, and financial services company. He explains how he was wowed by the company's culture of excellence and expansive network, while also discussing the ideal attributes he expects in young employees. Please listen to Raoul Pal's interview here.
They were the number one choice for every MBA in the world at the time. It was a ludicrous accumulation of intelligence and experience and skill. They have a culture that was some parts difficult to deal with because it's quite oppressive, but other parts is a culture of excellence. I knew that a culture of excellence was going to be a powerful thing. Also, Goldman has the best network on earth, bar none. It's the greatest firm to have ever worked for. Now, I left it saying I've had enough of this bloody place. So it's not like, I was a Goldman Group and it's like the greatest firm ever. No, I was sick to death of it after a few years.
But I think it's very refreshing for, in particular, younger people to hear your story, because young people have a very linear idea of what success is like. I.e., you get very good grades, and then you go to the right university, and as a result of that, you land a good.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say that when I was at Goldman and I had to hire and be part of the graduate intake, I would reject all of those people,
right?
Because they're identikit. The actual thing that gives career success really is character and diverse, broad experiences. Those two things combined with a sense of competing with oneself and not with everybody else is, I think, the defining thing of success. So I would always choose people who traveled over people who went to work at Credit Suisse in their summer holidays, because I want that person who's backpacked through the Amazon, because guess what? They can throw anything life comes at them. I want to see people who have a personality, who have a character, that done things that are sociable and interactive, and not just for their CV, just for the sheer joy of it. You want those people because they're adaptable. And if they're smart as well, then you've got the holy grail.
The cryptocurrency market has arguably been one of the best opportunities for investors of all ages in the past decade. To date, a majority of crypto traders and investors are within the age range of 18 to 34 years. When cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and Ethereum become widely accepted and prices skyrocket, there is no doubt that these young investors will lead us into a new world order championed by decentralized, innovative technologies and resilient investors. We have come to the end of this video. Remember to drop your thoughts and observations about Raoul Pal's interview in the comments section below. We would also appreciate if you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel to help with the YouTube algorithm. Thanks for watching.